The TM Vacuum Super Series X vacuum brazing unit. You can see the chambers on the left side. That's your torr reading, that's reading within the chamber. You have your control side with a very simplified touchscreen. You can run in a manual mode. That way you can control each aspect of the chamber, whether it be rep pump, cryo pump, heating, all your valves, the vent, exterior. It's all touchscreen. There is a keyboard in front with a mouse that you can also use as well. The chamber has 3 internal thermocouples that read the temperature in the chamber. You have a rear zone, center zone, and front zone. That way it controls very consistent heating within the chamber. You have the regular readouts, but you also have your zone readouts that are on the display as well. Right now the cryo pump is running. It has the torr down to the temperature down to 17.6 Kelvin. You can see the cryo pump sits next to the machine, very compact. It does have a printer, that way you can print out vacuum cycles and for your quality control. Sitting to the side is your coolant tanks, which is a mixture of purified or filtered water with glycol. It's a closed loop system, so it has very little evaporation. Right next to that, you have the control for the external heat exchanger, where you can set the temperature, and it controls the on and off of the heat exchanger as well. You can see that we've used copper piping to, create our vents to the external outside, as well as bringing in any nitrogen if you're wanting to assist the cooling process. I'll open the chamber door. Has a very large chamber that's solid stainless steel. There's no graphite within the chamber at all. Has a stainless plate that acts as a base. You can see the coils around it. Chamber stays very clean. You'll run a burnout cycle periodically, once a week, once a month, just depending on the number of loads that you run through the chamber. Here's a back view of the vacuum brazing unit. You can see the 2 tubes coming into the cryo pump, and on the back side you can see the large blue entry into the vacuum chamber itself. We do have the machine vented to the exterior of the building. That's just to vent any residue, moisture, and gases that it expels. Behind that tubing, you can see a large black colored cylinder on the back of the machine. That's actually an internal cooling fan, and that can be used as well to assist the cooling of the machine. The digital readout that you're seeing right there is actually reading the temperature of the cryo unit. It's right now right around 17.5. I've just started the unit. The cryo pump is down to 17.5 Kelvin. I've started a burnout cycle, which is what you will run weekly or intermittently to keep your chamber clean. You can see the rep pump has came on. It's bringing the torr down. Right now it's just past 1 torr, and it's dipping down into microns right now. The rough valve is open. When it gets down to a certain reading, which I believe is 100 microns, then the high vacuum valve will open and start to pump the chamber down using the cryo pump down to a much deeper torr rating, which it typically will get down to 10 to the -6, which is almost lab quality braze joints. Once that happens, the heat will turn on and it will run your cycle. The microns are approaching the 100 mark. The high vacuum valve is opened and now it's pumping down additionally with the assistance of the cryo pump. We're running a burnout program. We're not brazing anything right now. We're doing our maintenance burnout. You can see that I pulled up the program. The program's very simple, line by line. It's ramping up and holding a temperature at a certain point for a period of time and then ramping to the next temperature. The computer does assist you to write these programs, but they're very simple, and deciding on, what ramp speeds, what amount of time you're going to be holding at different temperatures, and then, when you're shutting the heat on and off and putting it into cooling cycle. The torr rating is at 5.1 times 10 to the -5 torr. The unit is pumping down until it gets to 5.0 times 10 to the -5. It will then apply the heat in the chamber. Okay, the heat's being applied. It's ramping to 1200 degrees Fahrenheit, 50 degrees per minute. You can see these zones are applying the heat equally to keep the temperature the same at all front, center, and rear zones. And it will ramp to 1200, hold for a period of time. Then it will ramp to 1800, hold for a period of time. And then it ramps to 2400, holds for a period of time, and cleans the chamber out. And then it will turn the heat off and a normal cooling cycle.